How do I full screen this crap? Oh, there it is. Okay. Hello, people, and welcome to part 2 of the Final Destination Deathmatch Bracket. Welcome if you're new here, which you most likely are. Then welcome to the Yapper channel, where I just talk about things that interest me right now. And honestly, for a few months, not even a few months, for a month now, I've been really on a Final Destination kick. If you haven't seen the first video, I'll link it somewhere up on the corner. But for now, let's get into this. The rules are these deaths had to be on screen. So Alex Browning's death does not count. Alex Browning getting hit with the brick off screen in 2 does not count. And these deaths also have to be real deaths. Someone died during them. So premonition deaths are off the table, meaning that the log truck death that everybody talks about and everybody loves, especially my mom, she's always talking about it, but those will also not be included. So roller coaster deaths, car crash deaths, all those not included. So our winner last time was Miss Valerie Luton. Miss Valerie Luton. She won the full thing. I have it pulled up somewhere. I can have this pulled up. Okay. She won the whole thing. This was our brackets results. Valerie Luton from the first movie. That's what this one means. I never said that in the first video. These numbers all correspond to what movie they're from. But Valerie Luton from the first movie, death by, I think she was stabbed by a kitchen knife. I think that's what you're calling it. But basically, her computer explodes. She gets cut, and then she's trying to stop the bleeding, and a knife stabs her. Whole thing, I highly recommend the first Final Destination movie where you see that if you haven't already seen it already. And if you haven't already seen the Final Destination movies, what are you doing here? Because, I mean, a lot of spoilers right now. But anyway, oops. We're going to shuffle these as like last time. These are all names that I wrote all of them down, got a random name generator to pick 20 or 21 from a list, and those were all put in here. So not only are these randomly generated, I'm going to shuffle them as well. So these are in random order, randomly generated. No name was chosen for a specific bracket for a specific reason. Excuse me, allergies are killing me. So if I'm sniffling throughout this video, that is why. Allergies are not fun. All right, so let's get into this tournament. Oops, sorry, my microphone fell. All right, if the audio sounds a little better than it did on my last video, which it probably does, that's because my mom got me a mic. She's letting me use her old one. Shout out to my mom. Nobody has to be subjected to bad audio quality anymore, especially me while I'm editing. That was awful. Nothing like hearing your own voice while it's scratchy and coming out of bad headphone microphone. All right, so let's actually shuffle these. All right, let's get into this. So I might have to look up a lot of them, mainly the ones from 4, because in the first video, I had just made the brackets that day, and I knew all of the deaths because I was looking them up. And now that I have made this maybe like 3 or 4 days ago, I kind of have no idea who Andy Cuser and George Lanter are, especially because they're from the 4th movie, and I don't like the 4th movie. All right, so let's look these guys up, shall we? Actually, maybe we'll do it together. On the wiki now. Gotta love the wiki. All right. Lacerated by oh, I remember this guy. Okay. Yeah. He flew into a fence and it cut his back up. Like, you know those like diamond fences? Like his like back was like cut into that. But yeah. So, and then George Lanter for, who is that? Let me look it up on the wiki again. George Lanter. Who was he? Can we like click or what? Oh, this guy. So he got hit by an ambulance, which was very similar to Terry Cheney's death from the first one. And I remember watching it and being like, that's lazy. Lazy. You can't do another death. You can't do another hit by a bus, like hit by a vehicle death. So oh, I gotta get off this because I might have spoilers for the new one, and I just realized that. I think we're gonna say, oh my god, Star Tournament, yes. I think we're gonna say Andy wins this one because I think the fence for the back, it's not a good death. It's not as creative as they could have gotten, but it's better than another getting hit by a vehicle death. So let's do that. All right, Todd Wagner or Perry oh crap! Why can't I say this? Milanowski. Whoa! Holy moly! Okay, he was in 3. Was it? Oh, okay. No, I think it was a girl. Yeah, I think she was the one that was impaled by the flagpole, which not a fun death. But Todd Wagner. Fun fact about when I watched the first movie and I saw Todd Wagner, I was convinced he was played by the one guy from House and Dead Poet Society, and I found out he was not very quickly because I immediately went to IMDb and found out I was very wrong. So that wasn't fun. But Todd Wagner, his death is definitely one of my favorites in the first one because he was the first death of the whole franchise, and it was so suspenseful because there's a moment where you think he's gonna cut himself with his razor, then you think he's gonna stab himself with like these nose tweezers, and then finally he dies with the clothesline. So I think he's winning this one. And that's not good. That I don't know, because he might win this whole thing, but I don't know what to say about that. I don't know. Can y'all tell I like the first movie best? Roy Carson or Roy Peters. Okay, Roy, he fell and like a hook went through his neck. So yeah, I don't even know if he should be on here because he didn't escape death. So that might have been a bad choice by my part. But Rory Peters, he definitely did escape death in the first part, and his death is pretty brutal. He's cut into thirds by a barbed wire fence, which is a pretty brutal way to die. And I remember watching that death and being like, ugh, yuck. Like, I remember it was gross. I did not like it. I mean, like, I liked it, I guess. But I remember, like, ugh, yuck. Because it was very, very gory, very intestine-y. But I'm going to say he wins this one. Because I honestly don't know if Roy is supposed to be on here. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Not sure. Carter Horton or Peter Friedkin. Oh, God. Oh! Okay. Carter was in the first movie. He got hit by a sign, technically off screen. But it's still heavily implied that he dies, so that's why, like the train deaths from the third one, I have him on this list. Peter Friedkin, he is impaled with like a meat thing by Sam, which crazy death. That was a good one. But I think I have to say Carter because his is a lot more like that one game, like Mousetrap, reminds me of that. But Peter's is definitely, I think, I don't know, it wasn't very death-based. It wasn't very, like, death. It's quite similar to how he dies in The Premonition, though, which is really interesting. But either way, I think that Carter wins this one. Our next pairing is Evan Lewis and Andy Cuser. Evan Lewis was the first death of movie 2. He had a very dramatic scene where he was the lotto winner and his apartment lit on fire, and then he got his hand stuck in the garbage disposal, and his apartment lit on fire, and he gets out and then slips on like spaghetti that he threw out the window earlier in the scene, and a ladder comes down and impales him through the eyes. And that is oof. I remember not being ready when I first saw that. I was oof. Yikes. But he's definitely winning this one because it was a lot more Final Destination than Andy's death. Andy's death may have won the last round, but that's because I just feel like George's death was so uncreative. But Evan definitely beats Andy in this one. All right, Frankie Cheeks and Luis Romero. I really have to remember who Luis is. This is not... Oh my goodness, who is that? We have to look that up again. Which isn't for... Oh my gosh. Okay. Him. Okay, I loved his death, actually. It was so... Can I, like, full screen this, please? This... What on earth? Whatever. This is too... bro. I should have known that earlier. Luis Romero's, his was definitely... My favorite deaths are the ones where they kind of misdirect you. You think they're gonna get killed by something else, and they're not. They're killed by... you think they're gonna get killed by... So in his case, you think he's gonna get killed by those two swords. Like, there are two swords... Oop, I just hit my microphone. There are two swords above him in, like, the gym, and you think he's gonna get killed by those, and then his head gets smushed with the weights, and you're kind of... It's very quick as well, and kind of taunting death the whole time. It's a great scene. I'm definitely putting him as the winner for this one. He's definitely the winner of that. All right, Nora Carpenter and Elevator versus Tanning Bed. So Elevator versus Tanning Bed. So we have the Tanning Bed from last bracket. Dies in the tanning bed, fried alive. But hers was decapitation from the elevator, which that's gnarly. That death is gnarly. It's a great one, actually. It's always the tanning bed deaths. I always have to come back to the tanning bed deaths. It's always those. Watch, like, even in the last video, I think I sat there for like a whole round being like trying to figure it out. But I'm gonna force myself to choose this time. Elevator death or tanning bed? I feel like elevator is more likely to... I don't want to say more likely to happen because there are safety features, but tanning beds, I mean, there's also safety features for this. They're both unrealistic, and they're both ones that I definitely had to kind of look away from when I was watching it. But I think I want to go with Nora. I want to go with the elevator one because it just, like, it's a great scene, honestly. It's terrible, obviously, I mean, for her. But honestly, there's actually a lot of behind-the-scenes footage you can find of these Final Destination movies. And it honestly, it makes you feel, I don't know, it makes me personally feel a lot better when I can find behind-the-scenes footage from horror movies. Because it reminds me, like, oh, like, these people are actually dying in crazy ways. So, I'm going to say Nora wins this one. Excuse me, my throat's, like, super dry right now. Nora definitely wins this one. I feel bad putting the tanning bed out in, like, the first round, second round. Because I know people love it. But I gotta say, like, maybe just because I like the second one a little bit more. But whatever. Okay. Todd Wagner, Nadia Monroy. Her death's very... If I remember it correctly, which I think I do, she's decapitated by the tire, which was... The visual after it is definitely bad. It's definitely gross, and it's definitely shock and bad CGI and not good at all. And it definitely takes you by surprise, I feel like. And I feel like if she was up against literally anybody but the iconic first death of the series, maybe not. I don't know, because I definitely wouldn't put her above like the tanning bed. But I think, I don't know, it wasn't for me. But definitely wasn't for me. But Todd Wagner definitely winning this one. Love him. The not house guy. All right. Nick O'Bannon and Rory Peters. Who is this person? Who is this person? Why do I never remember? Is that like the main guy? The main guy? We're looking this up again. Nick, what's his name? Crap. Nick O'Bannon. Okay. Okay, yeah, he's the main guy. He's the main guy. Cool. Cool. Head bashed into a, what? Oh, right. 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 I don't even know why I had to look that up, because like he's obviously not gonna win because he's from the fourth one. No, I'm not biased. But Rory Peters is definitely still winning this one because Nick's, again, it's a vehicle death. They just do too many of those. If you're gonna do a vehicle death, you gotta do something like interesting. You gotta do like a tractor or something. You can't just do like a bus. You know, you've done that already too many times. It's getting old. So Rory Peters definitely winning this one. The barbed wire fence. Tim Carpenter or Lori Milligan. Dude, who are these people? Was she the girlfriend from 4? I think she was. There's so many people in that freaking movie. Tim definitely wins this one. Because, yeah, Tim Carpenter. Okay, this is crazy. I think about his death every time I go to the dentist. Because I know his death has, like, nothing to do with the dentist. But I still think about it. I still think every time I go to the dentist, I'm like, well, this is it for me. Yeah. That's it. Lori Milligan, I think she was the girlfriend, and I think she dies same way as Nick. So, definitely Tim. Tim, crushed by, like, a glass pane in construction. I remember, I'll put it on the screen if I can find it. There was an IMDb, like, parents guide review, because I always check that, because I'm kind of a wimp. And it described it as him being, like, smashed like a hamburger. And I remember after I had just watched the movie, because I still check the parents guide after I watch the movie, because I like to see, like, what they put on there. And that was there. And I remember laughing, and it was way too late at night for me to be laughing at an IMDb review. But, yeah. Tim Carpenter wins. Terry or Sam Lawton. Oof, okay. This might be the first time that a Final Destination 1 death doesn't win its first round, because Terry's wasn't creative. It was quick. It wasn't creative. It was maybe that might be appealing to some people, but it wasn't to me. It wasn't. I was like, I felt cheated. Not cheated. I felt they could have done a little bit better. They could have done something creative with it. Played into the Rube Goldberg of it all. But they didn't. Sam, he dies on Flight 180. So that's I like that scene because it's very much a wraparound. I mean, that's what it is. It's a wraparound. It kind of puts the whole franchise in a cycle. And I really liked the way that they went with the 5th movie. I did. So I am going to say he wins this one. Sorry, Terry, but all right, Carter or Clear Rivers. Clear, hit my microphone. Clear was just blown up. I love Clear Rivers. Please don't get me wrong on this. I love her. Love her character. She's like one of my favorite people in the first movie. But she did not have a creative death. She got blown up by the oxygen tank in the hospital. And that's it. I feel like they could have done a little bit more with her or kept her alive through all of them to be like kind of a helper. But I guess Bloodworth is the helper, and I love Bloodworth. He's my favorite. I'm so sad that the actor Tony Todd that played him died. And I'm really excited to see him, though, in Final Destination 6, because that was his last movie. And he must have really liked the role. He seems to have fun in it. When I watch these movies, I can tell he probably had fun playing the creepy mortician guy. But I'm going to say Carter Horton, because, again, very Rube Goldberg, very... I like that Rocky Mountain High is playing, like, in French, because they're in France. Why do they always go to France? Always going to France. Yeah. All right, we're down to... I can't count, actually, so... 8. We're down to 8. Okay. Evan Lewis or Luis Romero. I'm gonna say Evan wins this one. Because again, it was so suspenseful. Honestly, I thought, and I forgot to mention in the scene, there's magnets on his fridge that spell out, oh my god, what is it? It's H-E-Y-E, and the H falls off to make it I, like E-Y-E, like the body part I, and so you know something's gonna have to do with I, but you don't, like, or eyes, you're not sure. And like it kind of like puts you on stress because I don't like when they do stuff with eyes. That's like I don't know. Eyes are very, very it's a hit or miss with like an eye scene, I feel like. But he's winning this one because his was very good. Nora Carpenter or Todd Wagner. Todd Wagner, because again, he's the first death in the franchise. He's quite iconic to the franchise. It's suspenseful. I mean, the long scene of him like choking is a lot, but Nora Carpenter, hers is definitely also, hers is scarier, I guess, because like I feel like you're more likely to get your head caught in an elevator. Maybe you're not. I don't know, you guys. I don't know if I would be more likely to get my head caught in an elevator or choke myself on a clothesline. Might have to ask my friends on that. See what they think. And get a survey. Which one am I more likely to do? But I am going to say Todd Wagner. Because first movie supremacy, actually. And, yeah. Rory Peters or Tim Carpenter. I'm going to say Rory on this one. Because even though Tim Carpenter had the funny IMDb review, Rory wins this one. Because, I mean, he's cut into thirds by a barbed wire fence. That's crazy. That's insane. That's a crazy death right there. And then Sam Lawton or Carter Horton. Definitely Carter. Carter's winning this one. Because Sam's, again, it's just death on Flight 180. You know, nothing special. I mean, not nothing special because, you know, it's Flight 180. But you know what I mean. We are down to the top 4. And our first pairing is actually kind of difficult because both Evan Lewis and Todd Wagner's deaths are ones that I really admire in the way that they're like set, because they're both very suspenseful. They're both like, you think they're going to die from this and they die from something else. Todd Wagner's, because you got to remember this is the first death I'm ever seeing from this franchise, and I've heard all about it. I've heard about these insane like deaths that make you afraid of everyday things. So Todd Wagner's was so, to me, very stressful because, like, I don't know. And I wasn't very acclimatized to these movies yet. I didn't know how gory they would be. So I remember sitting there watching this scene with Todd Wagner, and he's like shaving and like plucking his nose hairs. And like the whole time, I think he's either going to slit his throat or like slip and like the tweezers are going to go up his nose and like stab him. And I can't do that. So I just like I was that scene had me. I didn't know where it was gonna go, and it was definitely so. I think, and then Evan Lewis's. I didn't know where that one was gonna go either. I knew that it had something to do with the eyes, and like I thought it was gonna be the garbage disposal when he had his hand down the garbage disposal. I thought that was kind of gonna be what got him, but I think I have to go with Todd Wagner on this one because his is so. It's the first death of the franchise. I mean, it is. I don't know. I think it's the perfect introduction to the franchise and what the franchise has to offer. I'll say that. So, and then I think going back to our first bracket, I think that Valerie Luton's death was very much showing how far these events, these chain of events can play out as deaths. So, Todd Wagner, then Rory Peters or Carter Horton. So this one's again. I said like it was like the Mousetrap was like Mousetrap, the game Mousetrap. I just said Mousetrap like 3 times in a row. But Rory Peters, it was funner, more fun. It was like I don't know. That seems like a bad way to phrase it, but it's like oh my goodness, this guy just got cut into thirds by a barbed wire fence, like very cheesy horror movie stuff. But I think I'm gonna say Carter on this one. It's off screen too. It's comedic. I really wish they had kept the last character dying off screen thing, like dying right before the credits roll. I thought that was a fun way to end the movie. So we have our first death of the first movie and our last death of the first movie pitted against each other. And I think, because I've been talking about it for this whole video, I think we both know, not both, me and the viewers, I guess that's both me. Everybody knows I'm probably going to choose Todd Wagner's death here. Submit our scores. Todd Wagner is the winner of bracket 2. And so here is bracket 1. Can I like expand this? Okay. So here's bracket 2 and bracket, oh my goodness, I can't do anything. Gosh. All right. So Todd Wagner is the winner of bracket 2 and Valerie Luton, also from movie 1, was the winner of bracket 1. So I'm not really sure how I want to do this. Like, I don't know if I want to like put these two against each other and figure out which one's my favorite. But, or if I just leave it, like there's 2 winners here. Maybe I'll let y'all vote yourself. You can fight among yourselves. Oops. But yeah, I think it's kind of funny how we have the first death and the last death of the movie as our winners. I'm not mad about these brackets. Can I stop clicking on things? Oh my gosh. I'm not mad about these brackets. Stop. I keep clicking on everything that's not what I want to click on. Not mad about how these brackets turned out, actually. That's really fun. What do you mean 75? Oh, complete a bracket. I did. What? So Todd Wagner and Valerie Luton are our 2 winners. Maybe I will link the death scenes in like the descriptions and we can see who the comments decide is the best. Or I can just, maybe I'll watch them. Maybe I'll make a whole video of me watching them both with live reactions. And then whole video of me watching them both with live reactions, and then I can decide then. But yeah, that's basically it for the video today, actually. I am really enjoying doing Final Destination themed stuff, but I don't want to just stick to movies, maybe. Maybe I'll play video games. I'm probably going to play The Sims at some point, but I don't know. I kind of made this channel just so I can have like an outlet to end up talking to myself a lot, so I want to talk to out. Yeah, I would talk out instead of just to myself. But so I might play The Sims. I want to stream maybe like on Twitch. at some point. I don't know. Thank you so much to anyone who is watching this video, especially if you watched to the end. It's only my second video and I'm really trying to get this channel off the ground right now. So if you've watched to the end or even watched any of this video, really, it's a big help for the algorithm and also just making me feel like I'm not wasting time doing this. But if you subscribe now, you can get huge bragging rights. If I end up rich and famous, you can say that you were there first. So that's pretty cool. But I have a TikTok too in my bio. But yeah, that's basically it. Thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed doing this bracket thing, and I'd want to do it with some other stuff. But like I said, I kind of want to branch out into other things I like The Sims. I really love The Sims 4, or Minecraft. I don't know, kind of just doing whatever. Thank you so much again for watching.